Hey Camp Runoia, Jen and Natalie coming at you from Overland Park, Kansas, which is a suburb of Kansas City, Missouri. Today we're going to be making Congo Bars, one of our camp's favorite desserts.
Before we start, we're going to pull our hair back, wash our hands, and get everything sorted. Ready, set, go.
All right, we have washed our hands and pulled our hair back, and we've gathered all of our ingredients. So you want to start by getting everything together so that you're not digging for anything as you get started. You're going to need a stick and a half of softened butter, a package of chocolate pieces. We went with semi-sweet minis, salt, all-purpose flour, 3 eggs, 2 cups of brown sugar, and 2 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour, as well as some baking powder and some vanilla. We've already measured everything out, which is helpful to get started. So Natalie's gonna start by doing our 3 eggs, our butter, and our brown sugar. She's gonna make sure she doesn't get any shells in there. And I'm gonna go ahead and add in our butter. Which again, remember to set your butter out to soften earlier in the day. If you forget though, it's really easy to just stick it into a warm oven for a little bit, let it soften. And best to go with unsalted butter so you don't add any extra salt to the recipe. If you don't have a hand mixer, you can just mix it with a spatula or a fork. So Natalie's gonna blend this up. So again, that's a stick and a half of butter and 3 eggs. And I'm gonna start to add in our 2 cups of brown sugar. All right, so once you've blended all that, we're going to add in our dry ingredients as well as our baking powder, vanilla, and salt. So we're gonna add in 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and I've got a 1/2 teaspoon measuring device, so I am going to put 2 halves in. We're going to add in a 1/2 teaspoon of salt and 2 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder. And again, I've got a 1/2 here, so I'm going to do 5. Four and 5. And Natalie's going to start up on that. And I'm going to start to add in our flour. And you just want to add the flour slowly so that it doesn't go flying everywhere. Okay, so earlier we turned on our oven to 325 to let it preheat, and we've prepped a 9 by 13 glass bakeware pan to put our mixture in. It is going to be pretty thick, and that's okay. Natalie, what are we going to do next?
We're going to add the chocolate chips now, the best part.
And we're going to stir those in with a spatula. We're not going to use a mixer with chocolate chips.
A lot of chocolate.
We're gonna use about half the bag and see how that looks.
wow.
And again, the batter is gonna be pretty thick and heavy.
You gotta put in some like elbow grease.
And again, on your glass pan, make sure you've done a layer of butter or some ham spray, because you don't want your bars to stick when you go to take them out. And if you need to ask a parent for help with getting your chocolate chips stirred in, it looks like a half bag is gonna be
Pretty
plenty.
good, yeah.
So Natalie is getting those mixed in there using her muscles.
Yeah, building some muscle. Multitasking. That looks really good.
All right, you think we're ready?
Yeah, let's just scrape off this spatula.
Well, we're gonna use
Yeah.
the spatula to scrape it into here. So Natalie's gonna go ahead
You wanna hold the bowl?
and we're gonna
It's so
scrape
heavy.
in our mixture.
I'll get it if you hold the bowl. Teamwork makes the dream work. Oh my god. We're getting there.
And then we're gonna kind of spread it out.
Sure it's even everywhere. Will you scrape off my spatula?
If you find you're getting a lot sticking to your spatula, you can always do a final run with the spatula with some butter stuck to the bottom. And we're gonna try to even it out. We've got some parts that are thicker than others and we want it to bake evenly. You could even put on a glove and just kind of level it out with your hand if you wanted to.
That looks pretty good.
So I'm gonna try to just even this out a little bit more. All right, we're gonna put this in the oven again at 325. We're gonna start at about 20 minutes and see where we're at. And then we'll bake it a little longer if we need to.
Everything depends on your oven.
We'll be back in just a little
We
bit.
checked on our Congo bars after about 20 minutes and then we ended up cooking them for about 35 to 40 minutes. And we checked them with the knife to poke through, make sure the knife is clean so that we know they're done. It's clean. And now they're this amazing golden brown and we're very excited to eat them.
So we're gonna let these cool for a while and then we'll be back in a bit to cut them and enjoy them. All right, so here's our final product after we let them cool and cut them into bars. This was our first time making this particular recipe that came from the JMG cookbook. So I'm gonna put some comments and notes out in the comment section on YouTube so that you can hopefully learn from what we garnered.
Next week we're going to be making whoopie pies, so don't forget to keep track of our videos.